Hey everyone, Mark here and welcome back to MK Bricks. In front of us we have the new 2022 Speed Champions 1970 Ferrari 512M. Now this set has a lot of character compared to previous Speed Champion models, and honestly I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but I think the end result was actually pretty neat. I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying that the headlights and the rear are the two most notable parts for me at the moment. As I kind of go through the set more and more, I kind of realize how much more I appreciate other parts. But let's kind of talk about the headlights real quick. So gone are the stickers. These are not even printed on. However, you have clear 1x2 bricks with a dark red flat tile that actually connects to it. You'll also notice that this actually kind of comes in and out, and this diagonal piece you need to push in to line it up with this tile right up here. If I pop this off, you'll be able to tell that there's this tile right here, and it connects to this part right over here, and you can see how clever and creative they got with the headlight. It's really, really neat. If I go ahead and pop this back on as I'm holding the camera with one hand, there we go, and you can see it just sits so well. So it's actually not flimsy at all. It actually holds pretty snug, and it's pretty well done. We'll notice that there are 14 stickers throughout this whole set, so a lot of them being the number 4 symbol placed all over the car. So you have it on the front right here with the Ferrari symbol. I also want to point out that you could also notice that there's a little bit of a lift right here on the hood. Now it doesn't bother me all that much, nothing too crazy, but it is there. It doesn't line up with the rest of the headlights. If I go ahead and rotate the front, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a gap right there in the hood. That's how it's supposed to be. I also noticed that if I go ahead and bring this in, there's supposed to be 2 side mirrors that are supposed to be placed there, and they're supposed to stand pretty tall. I don't know if it's this particular model in general that doesn't have them, because I have seen them on other pictures that I've looked up of the 1970 Ferrari I'm sorry, 512M, but it's not on this one. So if anyone knows why, please let me know. If we move to the side, we have gold hubcaps, which are taking place of the original graded hubcaps that we normally get. So they're a little more plain, but a little more flashy at the same time. They got a little bit of a detail in it. You can see that there's kind of a spiral effect going on. Now you'll also notice that there's a Ferrari symbol that is printed right there. And then you have 3 stickers on the side, the 4, the bottom half of that 4, and then you have this one right here. Now it starts to curve around. And if we go to the rear, you'll notice how flat this looks. It's really interesting how thin and how flat it is. This is very unusual for any car that I've seen. So this is a very unique look and design that Ferrari came up with. And they also have these 2x2 white tiles that are taking place of the spoilers, and they connect on these clear pieces right here and attach to these 1x1 connector white studs. I think it just looks really interesting and really odd at the same time, but I like it just because it stands out so much. Now we look inside, we have these exhaust pipes that stand out, so one on that side and one right there, and then you have your tail lights. This middle part, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, so also once again, if anyone knows, please let me know. And then if we go to the side, you'll notice it's just symmetrical to the driver's side. So overall, it's pretty cool. It's a very interesting design. Now, if I go ahead and go back to the rear, we'll look at the top, and you can see that there's the 4 sticker right over here. You got 2 stickers on each side, so with the white trim, and then you also have this sticker right over here. Now, these parts right here, the red, they do rotate a little bit, and they tell you to kind of push them in. So yeah, you can see how it does that. Now, I also want to point out one other thing I actually find pretty fascinating. Now the windshield doesn't pop off, it actually lifts, which is really neat. I like that a lot. And you'll notice that the windshield has a dark red print, and you also have this kind of like a gold line design right over here, and I'm not sure why that's there either. So once again, not a car buff, but if you could tell me that, that'd be cool. So we go ahead and pop that in. It looks great. If we look in the back of it, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a gap right there. Now if we lift up, you'll notice that we can take a look inside. You'll see that there's the sticker that is on the which has a speedometer and whatnot. You also have your steering wheel, and the seat is nothing too clever, just pretty standard, as you know most Speed Champion sets are. But we have nothing clever for this, unlike the Aston Martin. Overall, pretty interesting build, if you ask me. I'm actually a fan of this. I'm actually a fan. I like it. So here's our minifigure. The driver of the Ferrari is a male with nice brown flowing hair. Got a little bit of a smirk on his face. He has the Ferrari logo printed on his white jacket with red trims on the sides. He has zippers. His jacket's slightly open on the top, revealing what looks like a gray shirt. He does have white pants with red trims and gray gloves. And if we go ahead and flip him over, he's got some detail on the back of his jacket as well as some red trims on the side too. So knocked him over. This minifigure does not come with an alternate face. However, he does come with a white helmet, which is standard for many of the Speed Champion sets, or all the Speed Champion sets. They all come with a helmet, but his is white to match his uniform. So wrapping up my final thoughts here, honestly, I didn't think I would like this set. It did end up being a lot more fun and a lot more interesting to look at than I thought it would be. Usually that happens after I do a build. When I kind of look at something very briefly, I'm kind of like, you know, and then I build it and I end up really liking it a lot more than I thought. Now, I think what gives this car so much more character is the unique design that it has. And even just the red to it kind of gives it a little bit more life. I think if it was any other color, I'd kind of be like, you know, black would make it kind of boring and whatnot. But looking at just the front of the car, like starting with the headlights, like that's a whole different vibe overall. It's got that, you know, with the 1x2 bricks, you know, replacing the stickers and the prints just make it so much more unique in that way. And just the simplicity of the stickers is kind of refreshing. It's not just overloaded with a bunch of random designs and even, you know, brands that we slap on. The rear of the car is something else too. I mean, I've never seen a car that looks like this. Once again, I'm not a car buff, so I'm sure there probably are more out there, but I've never seen that. So how flat it is and how slim it looks. Even with the two white spoilers on either side, it looks very unique and very interesting. The gold hubcaps make it a little more simplistic once again without the extra design to them. And then the windshield itself, the fact that it lifts up rather than pops off, once again, it's refreshing. I'm a fan of this set. I didn't think I'd care for it, and I ended up really liking it. You know, for $19.99, I mean, 20 bucks itself, it's not a bad build. I mean, Speed Champion sets are really affordable. They're great for kids. They're great for adults that like to collect them. They're fun. They are unique. And I think this whole 2022 lineup is getting much more unique as I start the builds and, you know, finish them up. And I'm kind of like, wow, they're something else. So I could kind of go on and ramble about how interesting I find them to be, but this is refreshing, and it kind of makes the build much more well worth investing into again, you know, instead of just kind of going, well, I kind of expect Speed Champion sets to be like this every time. This one changes up the formula. It's really cool. So I do recommend it. It's a good buy, especially for a good price. But if you like this video, check out my other ones, stick around, and I look forward to posting up another one for you guys soon. Take care, everyone. Talk to you later.